This could have been avoided had this man-made law not been made. I was very confused as a child, and as you know, this is in your informative years. At the age of 9, I was confronted with a decision about my salvation. Scared and confused, I half ran to the restroom because I thought it was all about following the church's laws. It took about 25 years of running before God revealed the truth to me. The truth is, if you seek the truth will find you. I think a lot of preachers get caught up in traditions and don't know how to get out from under them, so they go along with the same lies that were passed down to them. My Bible tells me that I'm responsible for every word that comes out of my mouth. So ignorance is not going to work for you once you know the truth. God has given us a law in the 10 Commandments to cover all people. God is love, and He loves us all the same. He commands us to love one another the same. And if you can't, my friend, heaven cannot ever be your home. And that, my friend, is the absolute truth. Blood Brothers is another one about a friend that almost died. I Gotta Know is the Lord impressed me. It's going to be a movie made out of this writing. It's about a friend that lived a very bad life, but in his last dying minutes from the Lord. It's an awesome story, and it gave me a glimpse into heaven. Sometime I might be able to share it. Guilty as charged has got to do with the accident with Kendall Murphy, and you guys you're probably familiar with the Kendall Murphy story, the fireman that got killed. There's actually, I wrote 3 things on it, but there again, that's not what I have to share with you today. Written on a scroll, lost Jesus. And this here, I'm writing a book, and I'm talking to the publisher. It's in its final stages of getting sent back to the publisher to see if they'll accept it, but I pray that it will. But I was laying there in bed this winter during that, January, February, during that harshest weather, and I was watching a Gunsmoke rerun. And I'm praying to the Lord. I said, Lord, I know people are telling me I need to write a book, but it takes money, which I have none. And how am I supposed to write this book without any funds to do it with? And immediately a commercial came on about, and it says, wanted Christian writers. And it gave the name and the phone number. And I got short-term memory due to probably too much drug use and falling out of that tree stand and landing on my head, which my wife said that's the only thing that saved me, actually. But I'm stunned there for a second, but I get out of my bed and the office is across. And where I do my writing is right across the hallway there. And I'm standing there in my underwear watching the TV, and I'm repeating the phone number over and over and over in my head. So I'll forget it, because this is a sign, for my book. And so as soon as it goes over, I run in there and I'm searching around for a pen, and I finally find one. And all I can remember is 800. I thought, here the Lord has given you the opportunity, and you can't even remember the number. So I'm stewing around, and so finally I said, I did kind of write down what I thought the numbers were. I said, well, no big deal. It'll come back in the commercials. So I got back on, and nothing. Hour and a half later, no more commercial. And so I said, well, what I got to do? So I called the number, and here it came on. And I told the lady, I said, the Lord had impressed me that to count the number of things that I had written And I said, this was my 33rd writing. And the hairs on my neck come up, and it's called Lost Jesus. Jesus, where have you gone? I don't see you around much anymore. Besides the preacher on Sunday, you've become just a piece of folklore. Have you found all the sheep that have gone astray? I think I saw a couple that got away. The two of them were way out of line. They were scheming to take a lady's last dime. Politicians use your name to get a vote. I bet that really gets God's goat. Some so-called Christians use your name to impress with their nose in the air and their fancy dress. Some curse you and some use your name in vain. Don't they realize for them that you suffered great pain? And if God would ask you, you'd do it all over again. Jesus, you're not lost. It's the sheep that have lost their way. The ones that you find will be with you one day. The ones who answer the call to thee will be called to heaven for all eternity. See, the Lord has given me some of the most awesome things to write. And I've got 2,000 one-liners written down, and the more I write, the further behind I get. So I'll end it with this one right here. It's one of my latest writings. Last week I wrote 3 of them one day. This was the third one. It's called God's Final Tweet. No sweeter sound is there than the tweet of a happy bird song. They dance on the branches as they tweet away. I wish God would translate so I could tweet it alone. Most birds' tweets are happy, but some birds' tweets are sad. Some birds' tweets give us warning of weather that's about to turn bad. Some birds will mock you and taunt you, and they'll tweet bad things at you too. Some birds are just plain mad, and they'll point a bad feather at you. This old world's in a whole lot of trouble, don't you think? The devil's in the detail. He's causing a bunch of stink. The evening news is going tweet, tweet, tweet. All this fussing and fighting is about to get the best of me. God's words to the Christian is to look to the skies, for your redemption draweth nigh. The Spirit is calling. Get ready. Victory is going to be sweet, because God is about to make his final tweet, tweet, tweet. Thank you for your time.
Hallelujah. Did God speak to you this morning in your spirit? Amen. Did he drop something into your spirit this morning? Maybe it didn't even have anything to do with it. It's what Danny was talking about. Maybe it just something he just dropped into your spirit this morning. We don't want to prolong the service, but since this is a day of giving people an opportunity to say what the Lord's put on their heart, if you feel like God's put something on your heart this morning that you'd like to share with us, we want to invite you to share with us this morning. You have a song, Linda? I have one. You know it. Those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Amen. Sometimes we just have to wait on the Lord, don't we?
Amen.
Hear what he's saying to us. Let him lead us and guide us. So, Father, we just praise you, we lift you up. You're worthy, Lord, you're worthy. Glory to your name.
Wait upon the Lord, shall renew their strength. They shall run with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Teach me, Lord, teach me, Lord, to wait.
Oh, yes, Father. Teach me, Lord. Wait on you, Father. Hallelujah. Everyone's heart is clear. They're dismissed.
If you feel condemned or, I'm discerning the devil's voice more and more, and it's been such a blessing. I used to keep telling her to shut up, but we can't discern the enemy's thoughts that he gives us. And one of the major ones is he condemns us, he puts us down. And God will never, never, never. You can do some major, see, you can kill somebody and God won't condemn you. And if you feel all these negative, you had all these negative things that you'll never measure up or this and that, those are lies from the enemy. And he's holding you in bondage to those stars. And anything, just put it this way, anything that's negative and it's not of love, you need to pass it down, and then you need to say something like, I'm the righteousness of Jesus Christ. The blood of Jesus cleanses me of all unrighteousness. And that's where the devil holds us. We can't rise up and become the men and women of God that we need to.
I've got a writing that I haven't written yet. It's called Rejected Love. And I think about, for first of all, how Jesus was rejected and how many times I did him wrong, but he still loved me. And then I think about my own life, the rejection I get from friends and my own family and other people that don't want to hear the truth. And they don't realize that out of my love for Jesus, that I'm telling them the truth, but they don't want to hear it, and so they reject my love. But it still goes back to loving God. You have to love people, even though sometimes they want to kill you. There's men going before us that have lost their lives because of telling about their love of God. And through the rejection, you'll still see God working, because sometimes what you think is them not hearing the Spirit of the Lord speaking to them about the things, whatever they're doing that's not right, that needs to be fixed. And to have them same people come back up to you later to tell you, thank you for telling me the truth. And so don't ever be fearful of telling the truth, even if it does take your life.
Father, we just thank you today that you're real. Father, how you speak to each and every one of us in different ways at different times. Help us, Father, to hear your voice. Help us to hear what you're saying to us today, Father. As John heard from you the day he was on the Isle of Patmos, Father, we want to hear your voice today loud and clear. Don't allow us to get our minds mixed up, Father, in this and that, but let us hear what you say, your Spirit. In the book of Revelation, it says over and over and over, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying. And Father, today we ask that you help us hear what the Spirit is saying to each one individually. What you're saying to each one personally today, Father. We pray this in your name, and we also dismiss.